Hello aeronauts, it's me, Aaron James, your cute gay flounder who loves Disney, theatre and LGBT plus related stuff. I can't remember which way around Disney and theatre goes. Oops. This video is all about a monster calls at the old VIC. Well, I haven't been this obsessed with the play since, well, The Inheritance earlier this year, so okay. So about a monster calls, I said how it is kind of like a brother show to A Curious Incident. This play, A Monster Calls, it's all about Connor and how his mom has cancer and how it affects him and his family. And they both use really interesting ways to tell their story. With Curious Incident, it was all to do with projection and music and physical theatre, and the same can be said with The Monster Calls. And with The Monster Calls as well, you get the added part of aerial work with the use of strings and ropes to create the yew tree, the really old and mystical tree that comes to life and walks to Connor to tell him 3 stories, and Connor has to then tell him one story that is the truth and is why he keeps on having a recurring nightmare. But I'm not going to give you all the spoilers because I want you to go and see it. So Patrick Ness wrote the book. The original novel, which won a lot of awards, was based off an idea by Siobhan Dowd, who would have written the novel had she not unfortunately passed away. And then Patrick Ness was given the idea by the publishers and asked if he could do justice to Siobhan Dowd's amazing idea. Gosh did he do. I haven't read the book, why am I saying this? And I really need to read the book and I'm just blah. The novel then won loads of awards, and then it became a really successful film, which included Sigourney Weaver as the grandma, Felicity Jones as the mom, and Liam Neeson as the yew tree. And I remember seeing the trailer ages ago for that film, and I can't lie, I thought it was like a really scary horror film. And loads of people were raving about it, but I remember watching it and being like, this is too scary for me because of the yew tree. Which is crazy that that film that I was so not into going to see is possibly one of the plays that I've most raved about in my life. And I just think how they stage the show is incredible, with ropes, the fact that the musicians are on stage, the 2 musicians who, one of the 2 of them composed all the music, and how they use a vocoder. It uses repetitive sound and a lot of electronic music, and it kind of creates this, I guess, filmic score to the play. Like, it would be what you would normally hear on a film, how the scores for many big films are very repetitive in themes. They vary, but you'll always get the repetition of certain themes, such as in a Pixar film where you have married life and how that reoccurs to then signify back to Ellie. It kind of does similar things in this play. The use of cello and piano when we're going into the more dramatic or heartfelt and emotional moments. There's so much I'd love to analyse and properly look into how the music relates with it. I'd love to do that because I think the music is part of the reason why I have cried bucket loads all 3 times I've seen it. I get worse every time I go. I just start bawling the second we get into Act 2. I just know I'm going to start blubbing, because for me it reminds me a lot of when my granddad was passing away. And the fact that I felt a lot similar to Connor in things that he said, especially at the end of Act 2 when he has his big moment where he lets it all out. And I remember doing exactly the same thing and feeling exactly how he does. In that he feels so guilty for the fact that he just wants pain to end. And he hates the fact that he's being so selfish, but I guess in my case I just knew that it wasn't fair on anyone how much pain was going on. I'd already accepted the fact that nothing was going to change or nothing was going to get better. I just wanted the pain to end for him and for my family, and the fact that it was breaking me apart, the fact that it was a countdown and I didn't know, realistically I had no idea when it was going to stop, and it was just so hard seeing somebody that I love so much just losing themselves. So this show really like nailed into that place in my heart that I've not really spoken about to many people. And it's just amazing that this play manages to do that. And for so many people, all 3 times I've left that theatre, I've just seen so many people just crying their eyes out or talking to the ones they love. But I think it's just one of those shows that does hit everyone, because as horrible and as tragic as it is, everybody does have a link to cancer and know somebody that they loved who's been affected by it. Whether whether it's been tragic or whether they've fought it and shown and been a survivor, everybody still has a connection with it, and everybody still understands the hurt and the pain and the suffering and just the sadness that comes with it. And I think this play manages to tackle the subject of it and the emotions of it without it being forced and trying to make you cry. It's just trying to be honest. There's some really nice monologues at the end of Act 2 which are just honest about human life and that idea of pain, and that's one of the one things that every human is connected of, is that they just want pain to end, and that everybody has pain, and that we are all connected by the fact that we feel pain. So that was just something that I found really important about the play, and it's why I really hope it transfers, because I just think it's tackled so well for teen audiences and for adults and for, I think, for families to go to, and a way to introduce younger people to the concept of death and the concept of, I guess, cancer and things that they will probably see later in their life, but for them to watch it in a way to understand the idea of letting someone go and the fact that you have to do that to, like, it's okay to want the pain to end and to want them to not suffer anymore. It's a great way of tackling that subject in a really powerful way that's just raw and honest and not fake. I just think it does so perfectly. There's just so much about it that's amazing, and I don't want to give any like big moments away because there's a lot of them. Like the end of Act 1 is just a moment where you're like, wow. Just go and see it Monster Calls before it closes, because I want to go back before it closes and see it a fourth time. I really hope we'll have a future life or transfer or tour or be recorded in some way, because I think this could be a classic play, and I really hope it is a classic play. Like Curious Incident is now proving that it is becoming, with the fact that it's going on a school tour this year, at the end of this year, and looks like through next year, and hopefully Monster Calls will follow suit in being a play that a lot of schools take their students to see, especially as people are now starting to study a Monster Calls. If you've been wondering about the show and whether it's for you, I can't speak highly enough about it, and I know that all my friends who've gone because I've told them how great it is have loved it as well. Most of them have cried. I love you all, and I hope you enjoyed this rambling video of me talking about a play that I absolutely love. Right, I'll see you all later. Bye, 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 bye. Oh, and subscribe if you haven't already, and join the Aeronauts family because we're cool. Love you all. Bye, bye.